Mire, nosotros quemamos, le voy a decir por qué. Porque como la maleza es muy gruesa, pasamos tan palos gruesos, no se puede sembrar así entre la basura, ¿no? Entonces se quema para que quede limpia la tierra, ¿no? Yo sé que se va deteriorando la tierra. Se lava, pero no tenemos otra opción para poder sembrar. ¿Me entiendes?
The reason it doesn't get into the press every single day of the week is because it's not like a tsunami or an earthquake, but it is, in a sense, it's a greater catastrophe. Slash and burn, you get a first crop, a very acceptable crop. Try again perhaps the following year, and the fertility will have gone, and it may well fail to produce a crop. It's a classic picture, it's right through the whole rainforest zones of the world.
Que en los malos tiempos, cuando llueve, ya este terreno da muy poquito, y dice, no, lo voy a dejar ahí, voy a ir a botar allá mejor. No hay otra opción para poder sembrar, y entonces eso... vamos botando, botamos 2 manzanas aquí, y ya el otro año botamos en otro lado, botamos así, para allá, para sembrar las milpas, para sembrar frijoles, lo mismo. Entonces nosotros sembramos lo que nosotros podemos acá.
Rows of trees are planted close together, and the trees have grown and have now completely shaded out all of the grass. It's dark, and for that reason you hardly see any weed growth. And the mulch, the green material from the leaves, will be placed on the ground as a physical protection and as slowly decomposing manure. The alleyways that we showed you as dark and completely covered have now been pruned, and the mulch was laid on top. And what you can see now is a deep layer of mulch protecting the soil. I can see fine roots down here. It's cool and it's moist. And this is extremely important. We've had experience recently of the violence of climate change.
Qué grano tan excelente, qué grano. Qué dulce.
This system with Inga, supplemented by rock phosphate, will provide the basis of a sustainable cropping system that does not have to be moved. The family can remain exactly where they are. They'll get all the benefits of producing both food, cash crops and firewood close to where they live. So they can nurture, they can guard the crop, and they can see its progress every day. The family does not have to wait 2 years before its system is ready. It can immediately plant beans. It's an absolutely revolutionary discovery. It's transformed the entire economics of this system. And we've demonstrated that a family with a few hectares of this can not only achieve food security, number one importance, but also can produce cash crops for an income, and it's a good income. A family with a hectare of this, although they would not get any cash crop for about 4 years, in that 4th year they would be receiving not less than $8,000 per hectare, a figure which will be growing, possibly up to somewhere between 12 and 16,000 for good quality pepper. You can see the quality of the organic matter that's built up in the soil over these 5 or 6 years under the Inga. Dark and very rich. Inga alleys managed in a different way for cash crops. So with food security, with this, with tree crops like cacao or rambutan, avocado, citrus, a family can make a really good living, satisfy all its needs, educate its kids. We had an experience here on the farm back in 2016. We had a violent storm. 195 millimeters fell in the space of 18 hours, and all the conventional crops that had been sown on the hillsides were stripped. They were washed straight down into the river and to the Caribbean, except those crops which were planted in the Inga alleys. Following the storm, we had 9 weeks of pure drought, not a drop of rain. Both the maize and the beans that we had here and other farmers had in the Inga alleys grew on residual moisture and eventually produced a crop. We think the yield was probably reduced by anywhere between 1/2 and 2/3 of what we would expect. But the point that we make every time now is that a family with this system would not starve.